Yo, what's going on YouTube? It's your boy Light back with another YouTube video, and in today's video we're going to be doing Shang Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings review here on the channel. So yeah, I just recently watched it, and to say the least, it was pretty good. I liked it. Just a quick warning: there is going to be spoilers in this video. I will spoil the movie, so if you haven't seen it yet, definitely click off. Although I just want to say this as well. It's on Disney Plus for free with your Disney Plus subscription, so I would recommend watching it if you have a Disney Plus subscription. Uh, but I mean, if you can, you can. It's whatever, honestly. But I mean, if you have a chance to watch it, definitely watch it. It's really good. I really enjoyed it. Uh, yeah, and also I just want to say this too. This is gonna be a double upload today, I presume. In the video that's supposed to come out before this, which is like Disney Plus Day as a review as a whole or whatever. Uh, I meant to put that on Saturday, but I actually forgot, so I ended up now having to put it on Sunday. So I'm just gonna do a double upload today. I honestly, I think it's better for the viewers. Honestly, you get two videos here, so yeah. Anyways, let's get into it. So yeah, to say the least, this movie was pretty good. I mean, personally, I remember seeing like reviews and stuff, and thinking to myself, this looks like it could be overhyped. And then I watch the movie and I'm like, damn, this is not overhyped. This is actually really good. I really liked it. There's obviously some stuff I kind of disliked, but other than that, it was a pretty good movie. I gotta say, it was probably one of my favorite origins, at least top three easy, in my opinion. And I'm talking about origin stories for the MCU, not MCU movies as a whole. But it does probably come in the top 10, though, I gotta say. Uh, but anyways, let's continue on here. Firstly, some stuff I definitely like. Let's start off with some stuff. Personally, I really enjoyed how much heart they put into this movie. You could really tell that this movie was made with a lot of heart. And I gotta say, Simu Liu, he's a great actor. I must say, like you could tell that he's putting a lot of heart into these movies, or this movie. Sorry. Uh, like I'm excited to see him hopefully again as Shang Chi soon. I really want to see him again. I think he is a really cool character. I think Shang Chi's a really cool character. And I think Simu Liu is an awesome actor. I mean, he puts a lot of heart into it and everything. And I just think it was awesome how much heart was in this movie. I must say, like, of course, I like a lot of the MCU movies, but not all of them are made with a lot of heart. Like, firstly, this probably stands out to me as one of those movies that were made with a lot of heart in the MCU, other than maybe Black Panther, I would say. Uh, but I mean, this was just I really enjoyed the part, like them putting their heart and soul into it. It was really cool. Uh, so that was interesting. That reminds me of the next thing, which is acting. I thought it was pretty interesting, especially with the different acting, about with the acting and stuff like that. I thought it was pretty good. Uh, I mean, there wasn't anything I kind of disliked about the acting. I thought the acting was pretty good. Personally, I like the guy who played Wenwu. I can't remember his name. His name is like Tony Liu, I think. Uh, or I might have mispronounced his last name by accident, but yeah, he played Wenwu. I thought he did a pretty good job. Uh, as I know, he's usually in like uh excuse me, I think he was in Chinese cinema or something. He's in it a lot. Which was interesting to kind of see. I think this was his like first English speaking role or something like that. And I gotta say, he did a pretty good job, though. I must say, like he looks like he really believes in what he's saying and stuff like that. That's pretty cool. Uh, I thought this movie was pretty good and interesting in that aspect. Now, the next thing I want to talk about is the martial arts, like the big question behind this movie, because of course Shang Chi is one of those characters in Marvel, where he is pretty. I would say he's one of the best. Like I would say top three in terms of Marvel fighters, like actual like fist to fist fighting, uh, as he is like the master of martial arts or something like that. I think that's what they call him. which was actually pretty interesting as well. But I gotta say, for the most part, this movie was actually really good and very well choreographed. Really good fighting. I actually liked one fight in particular. I really liked was the whole Death Dealer versus Shang Chi fight. That was awesome, and that bus scene was pretty cool too. But I mean, I just find the Death Dealer fight to be really cool as well, which I thought was pretty interesting. I mean, most of the martial arts in this movie were done very well. One big critique I have about it though is I wish we could have seen a little bit better martial arts in terms of the fact at the ending of the movie when Wenwu and Shang Chi were fighting. Like it was a lot of Ten Rings action, and I mean that's cool and all. I actually really like the Ten Rings; they're pretty cool. But I mean, I would have liked to see a little bit more like maybe hand to hand combat. Maybe they lose the 10 rings for like 10 seconds or like a minute or so in screen time, and they just fight each other and stuff like that. Because that could have been much more interesting, I think, if you could kind of see that. And that's one thing, especially with Shang Chi. As this is an origin story, I understand that. I just feels like Shang Chi is a little bit not very proven per se. I mean, he is pretty proven. I mean, I'm curious to see like what he can do without the 10 rings. That's one thing I am very genuinely curious about, and that could pop up if there's a second movie as well. So I'm not exactly too sure what's going to go on with that per se, but I'm very curious to see what goes on with that. Uh, the next thing I liked is I liked the writing was I'm gonna say I like the writing for the most part. Even though there's some stuff in the writing I personally was like found it a bit confusing in times. Uh, but that was one thing. Like I felt as if the writing was pretty decent. I mean, especially villain wise, I thought the villains were. I would say one villain in particular, specifically Wenwu. He was written very well. I gotta say, I really thought he really resonated with me. I thought like he's very relatable in the sense like especially to me he was like a twisted version of Joker in a sense where you could see he goes proper one time and then tragedy comes and he basically goes back to his old ways. So that's one thing I actually really like that about that, as well as the sense that he wasn't exactly like a very stereotypical villain in the sense that he's like I want to destroy the world and that's it. That's not what happened. Like for example, his motives and stuff were different. I definitely liked how his motives were more so like with family and stuff. That's another thing as well. I really like the theme of family in this movie, and that was just really good. I mean, it's really cool with that message and everything. Uh, but yeah, yeah. Sorry about that. Wenwu was definitely again like a really tragic character to me. I didn't really hate him or anything. I mean, like I was basically given no reason to really hate him, to per se, because really, if you think about it, he didn't really do too much wrong in the movie, other than the fact that he probably just killed all those people earlier in the movie. That's enough for story, but I mean, in the screen time and stuff like that, he, of course, did that. Uh, yeah, which wasn't really that well and stuff like that, and like you could see his motives and stuff like that. So that's one thing that I thought was pretty interesting and well worth it to kind of note. Now to move into things that I kind of disliked. First of all, I want to just say Death Dealer was kind of trash. I mean, Dealer just looked cool, and I mean his fight style was pretty cool. But I mean, like he was so underutilized. I mean, I think this is the same way in the comics as well. Uh, oh, sorry. One thing as well, I'm kind of thinking out of the box here. The CGI was actually really good too as well. So that's important to note too. As Disney doesn't have the best record with CGI and stuff like that with over long periods of time. Like the CGI was pretty solid for all whole movie, so that was pretty good. Uh, yeah, onto things I didn't like. Again, like Death Dealer wasn't you. I'm not gonna say he wasn't utilized properly because not every character needs to be like some Wenwu. He doesn't need to have some like Wenwu kind of villain type thing. But I mean, the way he just died like that was kind of stupid to me. But I mean, he couldn't really survive, or he would have been in prison. Just because I have a feeling if Death Dealer survived, he wouldn't have gone with Xiaoling and Shang Chi or Shang Chi. Sorry. So that was one thing. Oh, I completely forgot to say this as well. I actually really liked Xiaoling's character as well. Because she was a really cool character as well. Probably my second favorite character, or second or third. I would say Wen was probably second, then her. But she's an awesome character. Well worthy of a spin-off show or movie or whatever. But she's really cool. I'm interested to see what they do with her in the future. As we saw at the end, she's like taking over the Ten Rings basically. So I don't know if that's gonna be villainous wise or what's going on. Because I think she could make a pretty good villain, honestly. Uh, that's just my personal opinion on that. But yeah, continuing again, Death Dealer wasn't really utilized properly. There's a variety of characters that weren't really utilized properly. First of all, why the hell was Abomination in it? I feel like we needed some sort of explanation to that. That just makes no sense. Why he's fighting Wong and they're friends all of a sudden? That just kind of is like a little bit weird. Hopefully we get an answer to that, like maybe in She-Hulk or something. Uh, or maybe even No Way Home. Wong says something or whatever. But like, I'm genuinely curious to see like why was Abomination in that? It feels like they're just trying to tease us basically. So I don't know really what's going on with that. Uh, then again, Wong he was utilized pretty properly. I mean, even with that post credit scene at the end where it showcased him as he was basically indicting, telling Shang Chi he's now in the Avengers and whatnot. Basically, he just said that. But yeah. Uh, that was one thing. Another thing too is kind of like tying into writing again. I really kind of disliked how they didn't write too much backstory. I think they were thinking too much for a sequel. But I mean, I really disliked how they didn't really give much information on the Ten Rings. But I have a feeling they're gonna talk about it a lot more on the second one if there is, because they even talked about it in the post credit scene. They're like, it's some kind of, this was before time or whatever. So I'm curious to see what's going on with that. But another thing too is I would like to see maybe a Wenwu spin-off or something, maybe showcasing backstory of him. Because honestly, I'm very curious into what went on with him as well. Because the fact that he is too, he's like 1,000 years old. He looks the exact same, and like, how is that even possible? I assume it's something to do with the Ten Rings, but I mean that's something I want to see. And also I want to see like what did he do within those 1,000 years, because he had to have done some stuff, and that's genuinely what I'm curious about. So I wouldn't mind seeing like a Disney Plus show or something on it. So yeah, I mean, I don't think we need a movie per se, but maybe like a 6 episode miniseries or something like that. That would be pretty good. Uh, so yeah, that's what was going on with that. Uh, but other than that, man, this was a pretty good movie. Very good origin story. Again, it's probably my top three origin stories. I thought it was really well done, and my honest rating for this is easily like I would say a 9 out of 10. I thought it was genuinely that good. Probably, I would say it's my favorite. It's my favorite movie so far of 2021. I expect probably No Way Home to probably get past that. I don't know if Eternals will, but I'm thinking probably only really No Way Home could surpass it maybe on my list. But yeah, I mean the Suicide Squad is definitely like second. I know a lot of people were saying that Suicide Squad was better than this. My opinion, it's not. I think Shang-Chi was really good. I really enjoyed it a lot. I can't wait for a sequel. Hopefully it gets it soon, or some kind of spin-off too, which could also be cool as well. But anyways, that's pretty much it though. Anyways, thanks for watching. Make sure you like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next video. Peace.